Tonight, switched on. Port Lincoln locals ready to hook into the NBN nodes. And the New South Wales Labor Party walks out after the government dodges questions on the water theft scandal.
This is Southern Cross News with Tim Hatfield.
Good evening, but first tonight, Energy Australia is continuing with its proposal to build a pumped hydro power plant on land in Coltana. At a community consultation session in Port Augusta last night, the company confirmed its study to determine whether it can be done is almost complete.
A proposal to build a pumped hydro energy storage facility in Coltana is making progress. Energy Australia holding a community consultation session in Port Augusta last night.
Well worth our time to come. Really engaged community, very good questions. Lots of good feedback for us to build into our thinking going forward. So I'm delighted that we've come here, and it's been a very good session.
Pumped hydro generates electricity from the downhill flow of water during times of high demand and high price. When there's low demand and a lower price, the water is pumped back up, with Coltana land being favoured over 5 other sites.
And what Coltana had that some of the others had, but not to as great an extent, is everything's in quite compact location. That we've got a hill very close to the coast and extremely close to transmission lines.
If approved, the project would create over 300 jobs and employ 12 people full-time.
It still positions ourselves very firmly in the energy sector, and it positions us well as a region, and it's all about new innovative technology and new industries, and gives us long-term sustainability in terms of jobs and industry as well.
Representatives from Energy Australia say while it could be a 5-year process to begin construction, the study is almost complete.
Officially it's completed at the end of this month, and then we'll have a bit of work to finalise and publish and work with ARENA as to when it would actually be published, but we'll be finished the feasibility by the end of the month. Amelia
Simpson, Southern Cross News.
6 months after construction started, the first homes in Port Lincoln officially switched on to the NBN today. Premises surrounding the CBD were the first to connect, with the full rollout completion scheduled for October.
With a simple flick of the switch, Port Lincoln welcomed a new age of technology, today coming online with a national broadband network.
The first 2,700 premises will be turned on from today.
While many Australians hope to see the network connected to their homes, the coalition cuts to the NBN instead saw the rollout of nodes across the country. Today's connection bringing the town up to speed with the rest of the network.
We will be ahead of pretty much anywhere in the world in terms of having a broadband connected to every single premises in the country.
1/3 of the town's rollout is complete, with 6,000 premises expected to be operational by next Friday. Their remaining locations powered up by October. The local MP happy to see the project through.
Whyalla, Port Pirie and Port Augusta have already been hooked up, and someone had to be first and someone had to be last, I guess. And I'm pretty pleased that now we're in Port Lincoln and making that happen.
Residents will have 18 months to choose a service provider which best suits their needs. The NBN urging locals to select the correct plan to maximise speeds. The network also asking the public to be mindful of scammers pushing households to join their plan.
If anybody rings up and says, you must switch now and you must switch with us, you know they're a scammer.
Jason Kemp, Southern Cross News.
Police are on the hunt for thieves who broke into premises across Wallaroo and Moonta this week. Witnesses driving past the Moonta Hotel noticed pokey coins scattered all over the road and alerted local officers. Police found the back door kicked in. 2 thieves were caught on camera going through the property. The owner believes $8,000 worth of pokey coins and a number of cartons of cigarettes were stolen. The damage bill alone topping around $2,000. Thieves also broke into the Anglers Inn at Wallaroo a short time later, though they escaped empty-handed after setting off an alarm. And then just 20 minutes after, occupants at the Waroona Hotel in Wallaroo were woken after hearing someone downstairs, though they scared off the intruders. Police are now investigating whether the break-ins are linked. The New South Wales Labor Party walked out of State Parliament yesterday, fed up with the government's refusal to answer questions about the Darling River water theft. The opposition had been attacking the government over the alleged theft of billions of litres of water from the river, but vacated the chamber after one member was ejected.
There 1 minute, gone the next.
We had a whole week
dominated by the water irrigation scandal, the sucking of billions of litres out of the Murray-Darling.
Labor has battered the state government about the alleged water theft from the Darling River this week, asking 17 questions to embattled Regional Water Minister Niall Blair. Labor's Deputy Whip Greg Donnelly then took aim at Don Harwin, the leader of the government in the Legislative Council, for not supporting Minister Blair throughout the week.
Can you elucidate your answer with respect to explaining why you, as leader of the government, have absented yourself from the House so much this week and deliberately left the minister to hang out and dry?
Mr Donnelly was asked to withdraw the question but refused. He was then ejected from the chamber and the whole Labor Party followed.
We wanted to know why the National Party allowed irrigators to suck billions of litres of water out of the Barwon-Darling, and downstream, the families in Broken Hill were on water restrictions. Absolutely unfair.
Labor remains outraged by the government's refusal to properly investigate the water theft scandal through an independent review. They say the questions won't stop anytime soon.
We want a special commission of inquiry with the powers of a royal commission to compel witnesses to come forward, to subpoena documents and give protection to whistleblowers.
Patrick Roinke, Southern Cross News.
Well, stay with us. Still to come in tonight's local news, local fireys get a training boost to mobile tower fire to help them in the event of a high-rise emergency. The details ahead. Welcome back. Regional MFS crews across South Australia will receive specialised training in dealing with structural fires. The state government is spending over $60,000 to bring a fire simulator into the regions to help improve firefighter skills.
Fire has the potential to destroy livelihoods as it spares little in its path. Our local firefighters are well trained, but are always looking for ways to keep their skill levels high. They'll get it over the next 6 months, with the government bringing a fire simulator to regional MFS crews.
It is a sum of money that is really providing bang for buck in regional towns.
The simulator is 2 shipping containers joined together and lined with chipboard. A small fire is lit and controlled by outside forces, allowing them to experiment with different fire situations.
It's giving retained firefighters a vital opportunity to observe and react to building fires, the structure fires, and the way that a fire would behave.
Our region will see the simulator from November, with each MFS crew getting between 1 to 3 days with it. Minister Malinowskis says with the steelworks and smelter in the area, it's vital local crews are equipped for industrial incidents.
Where assets are located and resources are located is very much informed by the industrial risks that might be nearby.
And it's expected the Country Fire Service will also benefit from the simulator's tour of Country SA.
This is, I think, the next example or the next opportunity to be able to take the training to the regions, which will provide a great deal more collaboration.
John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
The new sale yard at Crystalbrook is almost complete, with finishing touches expected to be laid down in the next few weeks. The sale yard will hold over 10,000 sheep and will be fully run by locals.
Construction of Crystalbrook's new sheep sale yard is well underway.
We started construction about 3 weeks ago, and all on track for an end of September sale.
During spring, the CIAA is hoping to hold sales every fortnight, with over 50 businesses ready to put their sheep on the market.
And we'll draw sheep from as far away as Ceduna, Broken Hill, Mildura, and the close immediate area.
The sale yard has the capacity to hold up to 10,000 sheep, increasing the opportunities for producers.
We've got people willing to sell and people ready to buy.
And locals will be employed to help run the sale days.
We've got all local people helping us construct the yards. We'll have local businesses help cater for the actual sale days.
With around 300 people visiting Crystalbrook on each sale day, the town will see more economic benefits. And with more livestock buying and selling options, farmers from around the state will also profit from the extra sale yard.
The bigger and wider rural community right from the Eyre Peninsula to the pastoral district, to the York Peninsula. All the rural farmers will get a huge benefit out of a complex like this.
Work is expected to be complete by the end of next month. Rachel Nell, Southern Cross News.
Broken Hill Council is aiming to combat climate change by joining a Climate Council partnership. Council will have 6 months to commit to 5 environmental actions, ranging from renewable energy to efficiency and transport. It's all about minimising the city's environmental footprint and accelerating emission reduction.
I think this is a really good thing, just to focus our attention and to also to get input from the community. I know that there are a lot of very passionate, environmentally aware and interested people in Broken Hill, and we'd like to get them on board too.
Well, stay with us. When we return after the break, a special anniversary for a locally filmed movie with the lead star heading back to town. The details ahead. Welcome back. Port Lincoln locals rolled up their sleeves this week to give blood as part of a Red Cross service that visits the region. Hundreds of volunteers made time to visit the mobile blood bank.
Giving blood is something many are meaning to do, but often neglect due to busy life schedules. But Port Lincoln resident Hayley Summerton decided this week she would wait no longer.
I was like, right, I'm doing it this time. So, finally got around to organising it, and here I am.
Hayley was one of 23 new donors to give vital blood to the Red Cross service, with 230 residents rolling up their sleeve. Port Lincoln has provided 750 donations this year, helping save over 2,000 lives. The vital service hitting close to home for some.
And I actually did it in inspiration for someone I've known through family friends. She's looking for bone marrow donors.
The blood service needs to collect 25,000 donations every week just to keep up with national demand. Port Lincoln plays a crucial role in keeping the charity pumping.
That could be anyone out there that has a car accident or something, and to know that I've helped save their life, that's a great thing.
The blood donations help patients suffering from cancer, blood disease, immune disorders and transplants. Donors now receive a text message to notify them where their blood is required.
My blood had been used for someone in a hospital in Victoria, so that's a real sort of positive reaffirmation that what we're doing here is actually pretty cool.
The blood service will return to Port Lincoln in November, along with Hayley.
Great.
Jason Kemp, Southern Cross News.
Well, August in South Australia marks the annual Sala Festival, a celebration of living artists across the state. Whyala's art group has joined in on the action, combining with the local photography group for a unique interpretation of still images.
Local artists and art groups across different genres are being recognised during the state's Living Artists Festival this month. Whyala is one of the hubs for the festival, with the local art group opening a unique exhibition, which showcases painting and photography.
We combined with our local photography group who produced the photographs that's in the show, and the artists from the Whyala Art Group chose some photographs and painted those.
The paintings range from imitation to interpretation. Over 50 exhibits are on show in the gallery, with a steady stream of visitors impressed by the works. Mr. Insel says he's amazed by the effort that's gone into the portraits.
Blown away by the amount of work that the club have done for this show. Overwhelmed with the amount of photographs they've got on show for us.
Mr. Insel himself has been a busy man, with 5 of his paintings on display. One of them is a copy of a picture of tree branches and leaves during autumn, albeit with a few changes.
I've changed the colours a little bit, but it's a literal copy of a photograph, yes. I see a picture, a photograph, and I want to copy it.
The exhibit runs until the end of the month. John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
Corn is set to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the 1987 film The Shirley, filmed in the town. The screening event at the Corn Town Hall this weekend is already sold out, attracting actors Brian Brown and Rebecca Smart back to where it all began. The film, which is a remake of a classic 1957 film and also stars Ernie Hazelhurst, revolves around a travelling Australian swagman who finds himself taking responsibility for his young daughter. Brian Brown says he looks back fondly on the film and is looking forward to attending this weekend.
Sort of a tough story, but one that had a lot of heart, and one that was, really a story about the struggle that people go in their lives, and basically love conquers all. I always knew that there was great stuff in it.
Well, time now to see who our tipsters are backing this weekend. Here's this week's footy tips.
Hello and welcome to round 14 of SGL football. This round starts with a top of the table clash with Solly's taking on South at Port Augusta Central Oval on Saturday. Both sides have been the standout performers and this match should be a beauty. South are the only side to have beaten Solly's this year and I'm expecting this to be a fierce contest. I'm tipping Solly's. On Saturday in Pirrie, it's Port who will face West. After a lean patch, West returned to the winner's circle last round and will be looking to sharpen up in their run to the finals. Port led South at half-time last week, but were blown away in the second half of that match. I'm tipping West. Sunday in Pirrie sees the Lions take on Central. Both teams struggled last week, with Central managing just 3 points to half-time and the Lions blown away by top side Solly. I'm tipping the Lions in this one.
All the attention is going to be on Rapina and Maroona Bay fighting it out for that last final spot. They're equal on points with Roos with a better percentage, and I think that may come in their favour in 2 weeks' time. Speaking of Roos, they'll play South on Saturday at Bennett Oval. It's fourth versus bottom. I think Roos are going to be too good, and this could mean season over for the Bays as well. Saturday's other game at Memorial Oval, it's North Whyalla versus Central Whyalla. This is the match of the round. North is still second, but Centrals are showing that they're going to be right up there come finals time, and I think that might get them across the line against the Magpies. And finally, on Sunday at Bennett Oval, it's West Whyalla versus Maroona Bay. Bays really need to do well in this game, keep their percentage intact, but West have been way too good throughout the year and I think they'll have a comfortable win.
Welcome to Port Lincoln Footy Tips. We're at the pointy end of the season and everyone's thinking finals. To kick things off, we've got Lincoln South hosting Boston's at Centenary Oval. If Lincoln South want to play finals, they need to win this game. I think they will. They're going to be too strong and win this one by 6 goals. In the next game, we've got Mallee Park hosting Marble Range. If Marble Range wants to finish in the top 2, they need to knock off Mallee Park. In saying that, Mallee Park are undefeated and look too strong all over the ground. I'm tipping Mallee Park to win this one. In the last game, we've got Tasmans hosting Waybacks at Ravendale Oval. If Tasmans want to play finals football, they need to knock off Waybacks. Tasmans have a few players coming back this week, but Waybacks are in some great form. I'm tipping Waybacks to still win this one, but in a close game. 3 goals.
With 2 rounds of football to go in Broken Hill AFL, South coming to this oval this weekend to play Westies. Westies trying to hold on to something, but I believe they won't be strong enough for the Southerners. After beating Centrals last week by plenty, they'll be pumped up. So West will be the underdogs here. South easy by 40 to 50 points. Second game sees North go and play Central on their old timers. Central will be up and about after a fair beating last week over the hill, but I believe it'll be North easy in that game by 60 to 70 points.
Well, stay with us after the break. A look at your local weather for the weekend. Welcome back. Turning to the weather now, and first tonight's weather photo, which was snapped by Jaden Croft out at the Point Lowly Lighthouse with some very menacing looking clouds in the background there. A great shot though. If you have a weather photo to share, you can email it through to us. A fine day today, 19 the top for Port Augusta and Whyalla, Port Pirrie, Port Lincoln on 17, the same in Broken Hill. On the national satellite, a high over the north of the state is keeping our skies clear as we head into the weekend. On the waters, the winds to 15 knots to the northwest, the seas to 1.5 metres southwesterly. Sunrise just after 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, not 3 o'clock. Saturday, though, is looking pretty good with a sunny 22 expected in Port Augusta after a freezing start, 21 for Whyalla and Port Pirrie on 19 degrees. Port Lincoln and Broken Hill both also fine at 19. Then staying fine into Sunday for most parts, 22 in Port Lincoln, 24 for Cleveland, Woodnor on 27. Monday we'll see a change push in with some showers after that. Whyalla a fine 25 for Sunday, then also seeing the change push across into Monday and Tuesday. Similar for Port Augusta, 26 and 27. Kadina fine and 21 to wrap up the weekend. Port Pirrie fine on 23 for Sunday, a cloudy Monday and 24. Clare 20 and then 21. And in Broken Hill, 24 the top for Sunday and 26 on Monday ahead of that change. And that is the local news for this Friday evening and for the week as well. I'm Tim Hatfield from the Southern Cross News team. Have a great weekend and we'll see you Monday. Good night.